it's Robin, and I just wanted to share with you some more about my experiences of eating in Universal Studios when we were there last week. So this time I'm going to talk about lunches. I was actually a little bit worried about lunches because I know my family wanted to go on a lot of rides, and there was no time to like leave the park and go to a real restaurant and where you sit down. It was kind of more like fast food style, which I don't really do here at home at all. And I was concerned about the options that I would have, but they did have a couple of gluten-free options that also didn't have dairy or any of the other things that I avoid because it makes me feel terrible. So there was a gluten-free chicken burger and a gluten-free hamburger that were available at a lot of different places throughout the park, and even at the water park. So that was kind of cool. I was quite happy to have that. And the first time I had it without the bun, because buns often have dairy or potato starch in them, which doesn't sit as well with me, especially dairy. And so I just skipped the bun, but then we didn't eat supper for hours and hours and hours, and I didn't have a ton of snacks. I did have some, but I was hungry. So the next day I decided, I did a little research actually, found out that they use Udi's buns there at the park, and they use a commercial version. So it's a little bit different than the kind that you can buy in the store, and also that it is for sure dairy free. So I decided to try it, even if it had a little bit of potato starch. That doesn't typically bother me a ton. Potato is one of the things that's not as bad. So I decided to try it and see how I felt, and actually it was fine. It was okay, and it was much more filling. I'm not used to eating a bun, so it was kind of a nice experience. I usually avoid gluten-free buns and bread because they don't really mesh with my goals. They're not usually that good, so it doesn't make it worth it. But it was actually decent. So that's what I had for the rest of the time I was there. I stuck to, I had a chicken burger, then I had a chicken burger with no bun, then I had a hamburger, and then the last 2 days I had the chicken burgers with a bun. One day with bacon, one day without. Those are my varieties. But I really liked at the Jurassic Park cafe, they had a buffet of condiments. So you could put lettuce, tomato, pickles, all that kind of stuff, and you could put as much as you wanted in it. And it came with a little dish. I don't do the fries because potatoes, for sure, that amount of potatoes is not going to be good. Maybe a little potato starch in the bun seemed to be okay if it was in there, but the fries probably not worth going there. Even though the fries are actually gluten-free, they make some separately that are gluten-free. So it was an option, but I didn't go there. But so it comes in a little container, kind of like this. And what I did is I just filled it up with lettuce, and then I added in. I brought something that I found here that I heard was good on salad. It's called tiger nuts, but it's not actually nuts. It's a root vegetable, but it just adds kind of a little bit of crunch and a nice flavor, and it just makes it not like lettuce, right? So I was able to do that and added some pickles into my. I think it was a hamburger I had the first day, and then the chicken burger that I had the last day, I was able to add that in, and it just gave it a little more bulk and a little more volume, a little more taste. So I liked the salad bar, because when we had a chicken burger at Volcano Bay, which is the water park, they didn't have any of that, so I just had a burger, and it wasn't that exciting. But then I figured out that we could also have a fruit salad. Or not, well, it was kind of like just a box of different kinds of fruits, and the fruits in Florida are so much better than they are here in Canada, so it was really good. And so it was a really good sized box, like it was probably this big, and so we just shared that amongst the whole family, and it was great. So there's also something that I found on the Universal website. They have dietary restrictions, so they'll have like a list of all the restaurants they have that have gluten-free items and what the gluten-free items are. And there actually is more gluten-free items than just those two, but some of them have barbecue sauce, which is tomatoes and that kind of thing. So, that doesn't work for me, but if you're just avoiding gluten, they could really work well for you. They have a list of dairy-free items. They have, I think it's vegan. They have a whole bunch of different dietary things that are listed there, so you can check it out ahead of time and know what's going to work for you. And I don't know about you, but I feel a lot more comfortable when I'm going somewhere and I know that I have options, right? It just makes me feel better than going there and being like, I don't know if there's gonna be anything that I can eat. And my daughter, my 14-year-old, was really worried when we went to Volcano Bay. I don't know if she'd been researching or whatever, But she was like, Mom, you better bring some extra snacks just in case there's nothing there you can eat. So it turned out that they had the same chicken burger hamburger that they seem to have everywhere. It wasn't at every restaurant in Volcano Bay, but there was one that had it. And I think there might have been one other. But so anyway, it all worked out great. And I wouldn't want to eat like that every day because it's not that, you know, it's a little bit boring to just have a chicken burger or a hamburger, but it was fantastic on our holiday to have those options. So I gotta run. My kids are busy today and I have a whole house full of kids, but I just wanted to share that and I hope you guys have a great day.